In part 3 of this experiment, you need calcium hydroxide, you need an ice plus water to create an ice bath. Okay, to create an ice bath, and you need a small beaker. First step into this part 3 is to add a small quantity of calcium hydroxide to the small test tube. Next step into this part 3, after you add the calcium hydroxide to the small test tube, add DI water to about half of the test tube. After you add the DI water to about half of the test tube, mix to dissolve the calcium hydroxide into the DI water. So at this point of the experiment, you're going to make careful observation of the amount of solid calcium hydroxide in the test tube. So if you look at the bottom of the test tube, you can observe that there is a precipitate that form at the bottom of the test tube. So those precipitates are solid, okay, calcium hydroxide that deposit over time at the bottom of the test tube. Make a careful observation of the amount, okay, of that solid in the test tube, and answer the question in your lab notebook. Now, for this part 3, when you're done answering those two questions, you are going to use a wax pencil to make a line on the tube to indicate the amount of precipitate present. I have my marker I'm going to use to delimit it, okay, the level, okay, of the precipitate. Okay, this is what I have. Okay, so after you use the wax pencil or marker, black marker, to make a line on the tube to indicate the amount of precipitate present, the next thing you do is to place the test tube in the ice bath for a few minutes. This is my ice bath. I'm going to place the test tube in my ice bath for a few minutes. So after a few minutes, remove the test tube and observe to see if there is any change in the amount of precipitate. You mix, the precipitate will deposit at the bottom of the test to make observation and compare the amount that deposit. Answer question Q1 and question Q2. Okay, after you make that observation, dispose the content of the test tube in the waste jar provided to you and clean before you move to the next step, part 4 of this lab.